E. Martin in the house. I'm with my three of my four crazy daughters. There's Shy. Say hey, what's up, Shy? All right, Jasmine. What up, baby girl? And Z Low in his house. All right, so I'm turning it, and this is their dad. I don't know how this is gonna work out, but anyway, we are at the Cheesecake Factory, putting it in, and I don't get to hang out with these sisters too often because they all grown now, and they don't like hanging out with me like they did when they was little.
That is not true.
So
that is not the reason.
That's not the reason.
Do not be lying to the internet like that.
Y'all ain't grown.
Well, we
Not
are
true.
grown, but not too
Y'all-
grown for you.
Not too grown for your dad. All right, well, that makes me feel better. All right, we gonna put it away though, ladies? We gonna put it in? All right. I love you all, and I just wanted to holler at you. Peace.
Good morning, Millennials and Gen Z. Welcome to another live stream. Sharing My Wisdom podcast with Uncle E. I welcome you all, Millennials, Gen Z, and I'm reaching out to Gen Alpha as well. Although I can't talk to Gen Alpha directly because the oldest ones are 14 years of age. So if they happen to come across my videos, please share. All right, what's going on with you? How you guys doing this fine weekend? We got a lot of snow here in Colorado. It's been snowing all week. It's crazy, but it's that time of year again, so can't complain. We need the moisture. It's good for the mountains, and brother be going skiing pretty quick here, so it's good. It's good. All right, Millennials and Gen Z, we are back for another live stream and Sharing My Wisdom podcast with Uncle E is for all Millennials and Gen Z. And I just want to share my wisdom with you and, talk about some solutions in your lives, get some guidance maybe. Who knows? Got a lot of wisdom. And I've committed myself to you guys. And I want to see you all be successful, do well, be blessed. And let's just talk about some things that are going on in your lives. And see what kind of solutions we could come up with. I'm not here to judge any of you. I'm just here to keep you encouraged and help you understand you got to press forward and you got to move forward through this craziness of the world in which we live. Okay? Millennials and Gen Z, the world is yours. You have the world at your feet. So utilize your skill set along with all the tools that are available to you, to continue to make things happen. This particular live stream, we're going to be talking about grocery stores versus buying directly from farmers. And the reason I want to talk about this is because, I know a lot of you Millennials and Gen Z, you talk about not being able to afford food, basic food items, meat, eggs, dairy, bread, just everyday items because of the price gouging that is going on in the United States of America when it comes to the supermarkets. They're all price gouging. There's no secret about it. They're all price gouging. And, the pandemic's been over for at least a good 2 years. So there's absolutely no reason why the prices can't go down. But because they're price gouging, the goal of price gouging is to increase the economics of the businesses that are price gouging, right? So it has nothing to do with it does affect the inflation, but it has nothing to do with them not lowering their prices. They can, but because these companies are greedy, and it's all about greed for them, they're price gouging. They're going to leave their prices the way they are. For now. And with the new election that just happened, everybody thinks Donald Trump's going to come in and made a bunch of promises. And let's see what happens in 6 months. But I'll put my money on prices that you're paying now. Probably going to be twice as high, depending on what he does. Just my opinion. I've lived through 7 recessions since 1965. I was born in 1965. And I've lived through 7 recessions. So we're about to find out exactly what's going to happen with these prices because I don't think that the price gouging is going anywhere. I think it's going to get worse. Just my opinion, my humble opinion. I think I've lived long enough to understand the politics and what's going out there in the world and how it's affecting millennials and Gen Z. I know you're not happy about it, and you shouldn't be, because it's affecting your everyday livelihood, your everyday pocket, and you're having to learn how to adjust major adjustments, specifically if you're not living at home with your parents and having to pay your own rent, your cars, car insurance, and utilities, all those things. You may have a mortgage, you may have rent. So price gouging is going to affect you. When I share the videos with you, I create them from from TikTok. And the reason that I go to TikTok is because TikTok, to me, is a library of education. There's so much information that's there. I appreciate TikTok because people share their lives for free. A lot braver than I would ever do, but they share their lives for free. So I'm going to use the information that is afforded to me to share with you so we can have these deep discussions and come up with solutions. Okay, millennials and Gen Z. So we're going to take a look at this video. I think it's, let me see here. It is 25 minutes long. So we're going to dip into it, okay? My Spanish speakers, bienvenidos aquí, hoy. ¿Cómo te sientes? Gracias. All right. So we're going to jump into this video. And it's 24 minutes long, like I said. And you're going to be seeing the difference between shopping at your supermarkets versus making an adjustment and going directly to farmers. And then we're going to have a discussion after this video because I have some wisdom I want to share with you in my life. I'm the father of 4 adult daughters, 36, 30, 27, and 24. So got a lot to say about this. A lot of good things to say about it, okay? So let's get into this video and let's check it out.
Okay, I'm documenting the fact that I am here buying chicken. It is $10 for this at Market Basket. The one time a month I buy meat because I literally can't afford to buy meat. Every single package here is over $10 unless you get like a tiny little package for like $5. For 4 chicken breasts, $10 to $11. I don't even want to know. I'm not even halfway done. This is scary.
Serious question here. How much are you spending a week on groceries? I was just having this conversation the other day with my friends, and they're like, yeah, I'm spending like $100 a week on groceries. And I'm like, I'm spending at least close to $300 a week on groceries. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but definitely close to $300 a week. Anytime I step into Publix or Wegmans, I can get like 5 items, and it's definitely going to be like $100 minimum. It's crazy. I do buy a lot of organic foods. Wegmans, I love their like pre-made foods that all you have to do is put in the oven. I buy like a ton of those for myself usually because I work from home and I don't have a lot of time to cook lunch. But those are expensive. They're like $10 to $12 for each of them. And I work from home, 5 days a week. And then you have the weekends. So I'm spending close to like $300 a week, and I'm kind of sick of it. Like I'm sick of how much things cost in general, but how expensive groceries are. And I just want to know like how much, and I have a family of 5. So myself, my husband, and 3 children. 2 of my kids wear pull-ups at night. They're fully potty trained during the day, but they do wear pull-ups at night. So obviously that's extra cost. And then of course, paper towels, toilet paper, things like that. We go through those so fast. I buy a lot of organic foods, things like that. So it's just really expensive. And I just want to know like average cost for where you live. Like what are you spending a week on groceries? I live in North Carolina. And, I go to Wegmans, Trader Joe's, Publix, Target, Harris Teeter. I'm not big on like, and I hate to say this, but I really don't look at like how much things cost. I really should. But if I want something, I just buy it, and I need to get better about that. but I know like organic food is just going to cost me more. And I'm like, are there places I should go that organic food costs less? If so, I need to go to those places. But I just want to know, like, how much does your family spend a week on groceries, and what are your like money saving tips when it comes to that? Now, mind you, like I do have a grocery budget, and it's like $250 a week usually is my grocery budget, and I usually hit that pretty quickly. And I'm like, am I the only one who's spending this much money on groceries? Like, this is embarrassing. So I'm just curious, where you are in the world, what are you spending?
October 2024. These are groceries that will last a week and a half to 2 weeks for my family of 4. It should not cost this much to feed us.
First of all, grocery prices are significantly higher. It is insane how much money I am also spending on groceries every single week, month, whatever. So now that I've acknowledged that, that type of grocery shopping is just wrong. Vast majority of everything on that checkout line is snacks. Snacks and processed foods are going to cost you significantly more than actually purchasing whole foods. And I know that's true because this comment came up, and this is how I used to personally think and shop. And that thought process all stems because I didn't know how to cook. Cooking is an essential skill, especially when you're poor. I was poor. I still kind of am poor. Anyways, the point is that when you do not cook your own food, you will be paying a premium for the convenience of not having to cook. Prior to me being able to cook, I would constantly get takeout and pre-made food. When I couldn't afford the takeout anymore because each meal was costing me an average of $30 just to feed myself, and I was buying pre-made food like what you see on that conveyor belt, it was still costing me a lot of money. I think that the issue that we have in America is this overabundance of convenience. So we haven't had to develop the skill of having to cook, because being able to afford fresh food is actually cheaper than paying for the processed crap. It just takes a little bit more effort and skill. For example, even if you look at something like this Kraft mac and cheese 4-pack, if you were to get the individual box, which costs maybe $1 to $1.50, this is just one example, but that Kraft mac and cheese right there, $4.92. You're paying 60 cents per ounce. Not to mention, it's only 4 servings. You could get the same Kraft mac and cheese in the box at 13.4 cents per ounce. And one box has probably around 3 servings in it. But again, we're choosing convenience over actually having to put in a little bit more effort to get more out of our dollar. Don't even get me started on the health benefits that just cooking your own food has. So yeah, grocery prices are up. It is expensive, but there are much smarter and better ways to shop. Thanks for watching.
This outrageous article is claiming that groceries are cheaper now than they were 5 years ago. So it wants to know why people are still so mad about high prices. Well, first off, most Americans' bank accounts did not get the memo that groceries are now more affordable. What's crazy is that the article outright admits that groceries are not actually cheaper. But it says when you factor in all of those rising wages over the past few years, they're cheaper in terms of the hours worked to afford groceries. Essentially, the article is saying, hey, you now have to work fewer hours to afford the same amount of groceries. So shut up and stop complaining. Now, that whole wage increase thing is highly suspect. But you know what they didn't factor in? Shrinkflation. Remember, even if you're buying the exact same basket of goods as you were in 2019, that basket is a lot smaller because the products are a lot smaller. So no, you're not buying the same quantity of stuff. The article even goes on to openly question why people even worry about the cost of groceries increasing, because after all, rent and insurance cost much, much more. For reference, here's just how much food prices have increased since 2020. And they're saying people shouldn't be worried about that. They're literally saying, don't worry that food prices are costing an arm, because rent and insurance are costing you a leg. Obviously, people should be worried about both, and they are. It makes sense that people are counting every penny when they're having to go down to the last cent or even rely on credit in order to fund basic essentials. This article is absurd and even insulting. As always, for more interesting and informative stories on tech, business, the economy, and jobs, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel here and on Instagram and YouTube.
What $140 in groceries look like for 2 people. So we got grapes, avocado oil, green onions, gluten-free pasta, mushrooms, got some sweet potato fries, 2 bags, basically a little bit over a pound, coconut yogurt, bag of salmon, another bag of salmon, grass-fed butter, 1 avocado, 2 pounds of lamb, a 3-pound ground turkey, and 4 peaches. Everything fits on the stove. With the exception of the oil, everything else will be consumed within 1 week. So if you took this out of it at $17, that's $117 in groceries for 2 people, when it's a good chance that all of this could be consumed in 1 week. Not family, just 2 people.
I spent about $1 per pound for all cuts of chicken. In total, I spent $200 on 40 pounds of each cut: chicken wings, drums, breasts, boneless thighs, and bone-in thighs. This is all a part of me buying my meat in bulk for the year to save money on my grocery bill.
Guys, doing some quality control here. We got some beautiful snappers lined up. Put them in the box, ice them up, ready to go, fellas.
Hey guys, watch me buy a half a cow for my family for the month. No, I'm just playing. It was a meat special, but it felt like a half a cow, all this meat that we had. Listen, we got to start preparing for Christmas. So I realized I spent too much money on meat throughout the month. So I was like, let me get a meat special and hopefully this will last us the entire month. You know, buying in bulk is way better. Obviously, something like this is better if you have the space for it. And we have 2 deep freezers in our garage. So this was able to fit in one of them perfectly fine. If this is beneficial and it works out, next month I'll be doing the same thing because all of this was worth the $200. Bye, y'all.
If you needed a sign, here it is. We purchased an entire cow from a local farm. We got all grass-fed, grass-finished beef. We split it with some of our friends, so we each got half, which means we each got 200 pounds of beef. That included tons of ground beef, steaks, filet mignon, a huge brisket, flank steak, pretty much everything you can think of. It filled our entire freezer, and it came out to about $7.30 a pound. We have been eating steaks and ground beef for the last 3 nights, and it is some of the best beef we have ever had. And it's so nice knowing where the cow came from, that it's grass-fed, grass-finished, all high-quality beef. Like I said, we split this with some of our friends. So to purchase the whole cow, it was $3,000. So our portion was $1,500. We were also able to get the bones and the liver. So we plan on getting together with our friends to make a big batch of bone broth. I am so happy we did this, and we'll be saving up through the year to purchase again when we run out.
Come on in, bring your bucket, fill it up with fish, ladies and gentlemen. Black bass, shrimp. Yes, sir.
Come with me to pick up our entire cow, like a whole cow, y'all. We split this amongst 4 family members. The cow total was about $3,200, and each family member had over 100 pounds of meat, beef tallow, beef bones for broth and soup and things like that. The local rancher separate our meat into boxes. We had lots and lots of boxes, so it took us, about probably 10 minutes to load up the boxes. Everything was heavy. I think it was close to 500 pounds, including like the bones, the organs, and tallow. We We went home to split everything evenly. We all had about 50 pounds of ground beef. We had probably 25 pounds of steaks, another 25 pounds of roast. I'm not doing the math exactly, but we all left with roast, ribs, steaks, tallow, beef organs, beef bones. We were able to customize the cuts and choose all of the different cuts and types of meat we wanted, as far as like, the top brown or sausages. We did get sausages. You can get stew meat, cube steak, different things, which we all did. And it came out to about, I think, $4 and change per pound of meat, which is a really good deal. Is local grass-fed beef at an affordable price. So we paid like that $4 and change, not only for the ground beef, but the ribs, the roast, the steaks, even the ribeyes, $4 a pound. Everything is more affordable and cheaper when you buy the whole cow, because you save per pound on how much you spend. This is us separating everything, and it all lasts about a year, a little over a year, about 13 to 16 months for some family members, depending on the size of their household.
Seriously, protect like my family. Protect them.
Some people think I'm crazy for having my meat and fish shipped frozen to me each month, but I found it to be much cheaper than the grocery stores in New York City and even my local farmer's market for the same quality. Through Moink, I order all my grass-fed meat, pasture-raised chicken and pork, and even Alaskan wild-caught salmon. The best part is I get to know exactly what farm my meat is coming from, and I'm always happy to support ethically sourced, humanely raised animal farms. Let me know if you give Moink a try.
Look at spinach, fresh from the soil. So garden fresh is what they called it. Let's say that's 100% vitamin C composition versus about a week to 14 days later in the grocery store. The grocery store spinach had 0% of the vitamin C that it had when it came from the gardens. Almost nothing could be more important than actually eating locally. I mean, the second that plant is pulled, it's actually dead. Every single day it's out of the soil, its nutrient composition is precipitously declining. And the average piece of food travels 1,500 miles from soil to our plates today. And so when we talk about eating locally, we're potentially buying from a farmer who most likely is going to have better farming practices if they're bringing their food to a farmer's market. So the food will not have the toxic pesticides on it most likely, but also the food was picked that day or the day before. And there was actually a really interesting study. They looked at spinach, broccoli, peas. After 2 to 3 days, you get like a 50% or more reduction in vitamin C content in those foods, unless it's frozen immediately upon picking. And that can actually maintain a lot of the vitamin C levels. The second thing they saw was that keeping foods at ambient temperatures, like on the counter, you will lose nutrients quicker.
75 stores, Whole Foods is the undisputed leader in organic foods and promotes locally grown. But the I-Team has found that much of Whole Foods organics are imported from China.
Honestly, I would have never flipped it over to see that it was a product of China.
But the USDA doesn't inspect imported foods. It certifies private inspectors to do the job. Whole Foods employs a company called Quality Assurance International, but the company confirms QAI has not certified any products in China. There's growing concern about the quality of food from China. Already this year, the Food and Drug Administration, which checks for food safety, stopped 260 shipments of foods like strawberries contaminated with bad pesticides, bacteria, or filth.
I think it's probably not an accident that product of China is in such small type.
What's up, my Cameroonies? Today we have a 35-pound order of our fresh large shrimp from the Gulf, also known as our Michael Jordan shrimp, shipping nationwide.
I'm back out here with the cattle again this morning. I just want to talk to you just briefly about the importance of buying local, and the biggest thing is economics. I mean, not only are the farmers providing a healthier, nutrient-dense product for you, you're supporting a family. You're supporting what they do. You're helping to pay their bills. You're not supporting some CEO, and no telling where, paying for a second or third vacation home. You're just helping us pay for a home, helping to build our farm, and in turn, we're doing the best we can to provide the healthiest product to you, whether that be beef, pork, vegetables, fruit, flowers. Your farmers are doing everything locally to pretty much fully sustain your family, and we really appreciate your business. But if you support local farmers, jump on here and tell me where you're from and what you buy from them, and just how that goes for you. Again, you support what we do, and we appreciate it.
Okay, come with us to the farm. How cute.
Not really.
Yeah, not going to miss those secrets.
Yeah, we still have eggs.
Okay, guys, come with me to my favorite farmers market in Atlanta, the Forest Park International Farmers Market. I love this farmers market so much. They have fresh produce, all of the fruits and vegetables, along with other items that you can purchase. This is
one of the things I love about eating from farmers markets is I get to eat so many different fruits and vegetables and get a lot of nutrient variability. One of the ways our modern agriculture system has utterly failed us is by taking away a lot of that variability and shoving down the same like 4 or 5 foods down our throats. And even in the case of fruits and vegetables, the same like 4 fruits, like bananas, strawberries, apples, and oranges. And I finished listening to this book, Kiss the Ground, How the Food You Eat Can Reverse Climate Change, Heal Your Body, and Ultimately Save Our World. And one of the points that he makes at the end, which I really liked, is how consumers in cities have a huge power to change our food systems. He talks about how there are a lot of reasons why our industrial agriculture model continues to run, and one of those is that's the food we just keep buying from grocery store shelves. And given that about 85% of the US population lives in a metro area, basically we can say that the majority of people live in or near cities. That means that if those people, those 85%, start demanding healthier food without the use of pesticides, food that is regeneratively grown, food that has variability, then ultimately our agriculture system will have to adapt. And so, yes, it's healthier for me to eat this purple cauliflower. I don't know what vitamins and minerals it's got, but I'm sure it's healthier than just a generic plastic wrapped cauliflower. It's great for me, and also it's kind of voting with my dollars to move the agriculture system in a better direction, in a healthier direction for us and the planet.
2 ways to find local farms to buy meat from.
First, and in person, you want to look at a farmer's market. Most likely, there'll be a vendor there that sells meat by the cut. But if you want to fill your freezer and you want to buy in bulk to save money, you can ask them about it. Just say something like, hey, do you have a price list for larger purchases? Most of them will welcome that because that's easy to do from a farmer's perspective. And then because I know it's not practical for everyone to get to a farmer's market or to find what they're looking for, I made an app. It's called Farmish. We have hundreds of thousands of users all over the US and Canada, and all these pins represent free listings that farmers or gardeners have created for things like produce, backyard chicken eggs, garden supplies, plants, trees, honey, chickens. And then buyers can search on a map or by keyword, find your listing, click it, and then you can message the seller to complete the sale. You can arrange pickup, drop off, bartering, whatever they have available. And if you're interested in selling what you grow, maybe starting a side hustle or a farm stand, we just opened up a free community in the app where people can share marketing, branding resources, tips, pricing, all kinds of things. And it's free.
Fish warning. What fish is safe, which isn't. Unfortunately, it's getting more narrow as our waters get more polluted. But let me show you. Here we are. Smaller fish are better than big fish. Just that simple. Law of biological concentration. The bigger the fish, the more fish they ate that had more mercury, and it bioaccumulates. Smaller fish, better. Sardines, the cleanest fish. Herrings, very clean. But let's talk about some of the medium fish. Swordfish is not medium, that's large. We want to stay away from it. A Chilean sea bass, typically a very clean fish. King salmon, clean fish, salmon, but we don't want farm fish. Salmon is often farmed, so stay away from Atlantic anything, not good. Typically it's farm. So you want the wild king salmon or the wild salmon or fresh caught salmon. That's the key with really any fish. We don't want farmed fish ever. Cod is okay, but again, I'm cautious of Atlantic cod. And then here's another tip. Cold waters are better than warm. And there's exceptions. Some of the Florida fish like mahi-mahi, amberjack, those are cleaner fish. Shrimp actually test clean, this section right here. So I'm not a fan of bottom dwellers. Typically they hold more heavy metals. Lobster, you can put lobster in a bucket of battery acid. Yeah, and the battery acid's gone. It's absorbed. They're filters. Stick to the small fish, stick to the cold water, stick to Pacific fish, stay away from farm fish. There's the tip.
Okay, Millennials and Gen Z, what are your thoughts? I think that was an excellent video. Excellent video. You got to see the difference between the prices you're paying at the grocery store today versus going directly to a farmer. We have farms all over the United States. So let me share some wisdom with you, Millennials and Gen Z. When me and my wife were raising our baby girls, I remember back in 1998, 97, 98 is when we started. We lived on a cul-de-sac, and there were 4 homes in that cul-de-sac. It was a brand new development that was being built. So we all decided, we put our money together, and we purchased a cow. Back then, I want to say the cow was about $2,500. So we purchased a cow once a year for like the first 5 years. And we had so much meat, it was ridiculous. You know, we got our vegetables directly. We did a lot of things directly. And I just don't think that you Millennials and Gen Z are aware of your options that you have outside the grocery store. Grocery stores are only going to price gouge as long as the consumer, you, us, will pay those prices. If we didn't pay the prices at the grocery stores, guess what? Price gouging will go away. That's basic supply and demand. If you have the demand and not the supply, prices are going to be higher. If you have the supply and not the demand, prices are going to be lower. Basic economics 101. That's how it works, right? So the consumer has the ultimate say. The consumer has the ultimate say. And until you learn that, Millennials and Gen Z, and learn how to leverage that, you're going to continue to go to grocery stores and pay crazy prices because you're programmed. You're programmed to believe that way. You're programmed to think that you don't have alternatives. Well, I just showed you 24 minutes of alternatives. It's all about solutions, Millennials and Gen Z. It is 100% about solutions. You know, you let's say you're a single person, you live in an apartment, right? You may not need that much meat, right? If you're on a budget, get some of your employees at work. $300 a piece, that's $1,200. You can get half a cow. I mean, you have to use your resources that are afforded to you, millennials and Gen Z. So I know, being older and wiser, and have lived long enough. I'm 59 years of age. I'll be 60 next year in 2025. I've learned these things, specifically raising 4 adult daughters, raising 4 baby girls, man. So we had to learn how to leverage. It's about volume. How do you save that money for the year? Well, if you're working full time, you file income tax every year, right? Just a suggestion. You don't have to do it this way, but here's a solution. You work full time. You file your taxes by April of every year. You get your money by June of every year. Buy that cow in July or August. Take your income tax money. That's not money you were, instead of going on these trips and splurging on yourself, spread that out over the year. Your money will go a lot further. You have to learn how to be a consumer and perfect your consumption. That's what it comes down to, millennials and Gen Z. So it's all about solutions, right? And there's so many ways you can save on food. But so many of you, you're programmed and you're so used to eating out, not cooking. Doesn't make any sense, right? So that's the wisdom that I want to share with you. You have many, many options. Farmers are huge. Farmers markets are huge. You got to put the time in. You have all this technology in front of you, millennials and Gen Z. So there's absolutely no reason for you not to be able to do your research. You saw old girl in here. She had an app. All you got to do is go to that app. Download that app on your phone. Check it out. See what farmers are close to you. Farmers. I live in Colorado. We got farms everywhere. So that's not an issue. You can order out of state. They'll ship it to you. They're all about making money. They're all about making money. So you can get it monthly, you can get it, however you want to do it. But you have a lot of options, millennials and Gen Z. That's what Sharing My Wisdom podcast with Uncle E is all about. Helping you understand the why you may be struggling, right? You have to prioritize what's important. I think nutrition, being nutritionally efficient is very, very important. You have to be nutritionally efficient, right? So, but check this out. Look at what these young people are doing. They're buying a whole cow. How many of you have ever thought about purchasing a whole cow? Right? You don't have to get along with your coworkers, but you have to learn how to network and do business with them. If you're smart, your coworkers don't got to be your friends. It's about business, though. Or as you young people say today, standing on business, right? That's what y'all say. All right, stand on y'all's business. Handle y'all's business. There's no reason for you to be hungry. I'm just saying. There are solutions. I just provided you 24 minutes worth of solutions, millennials and Gen Z. Right? So, there you go. Sharing my wisdom with Uncle E, the coolest uncle on the internet. Yes, sir. All right. So I just want to bring it to you and share it with you today. Thank you for participating. Feel free to comment. Leave your comments. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you. See what's on your mind. I'm going to be changing up my format in January 2025. I'm going to be bringing some, I'm going to have an open podcast, bring you guys on. Because I want to hear from you. Because I'm about solutions. I care about all of you. I want to make sure that you're doing well for yourself, taking care of yourself. Because I know we're living in a tough economy. I get it. Right? My video that I did last week, check it out. Check out all my videos. This is my third live stream. But I'm live streaming every week. So check out my videos. Right? Check out my ebooks. I went through my ebooks on my second video, my second live stream. I went through all my ebooks and how to purchase them and where they're located, okay? So check out my YouTube channel, y'all. It's all about you, millennials and Gen Z. It's not about me. I've lived. I'm good. It's about you. I want to help you. I want to help you understand. You have options. You don't have to be stuck, right? You don't have to have, feel anxiety. You don't have to feel you're not successful. You don't have to feel like you're failing. No, you don't have to feel any of those things. Life's about adjustments. If you make the right adjustments, guess what? Your stress comes down. It does. Okay, millennials and Gen Z, I appreciate you. Thank you for being present. And, like I said, I live stream once a week. And I appreciate you and looking forward to it. Okay? All right, my Spanish speakers, mis amigos. Hasta la próxima semana. Paz. Adios. I'm out. A brother is out. Appreciate you. Thank you for being present. Millennials and Gen Z, have a blessed weekend. May God bless you. I'll keep you in my daily prayers. I ask you to do the same. I will keep you in my daily prayers, but please do the same for this brother, all right? Okay, I'm going to holler at you until next week. I'm out. Peace.